Okay, so we're back talking about the fat activists. We're going to talk about somebody who is simply just lying. There's absolutely and utterly no way on the planet that she's eating this little. Like absolutely and utterly. I've had conversations with people I know who say, wow, she eats less than me. I'm like, well, she's lying. It's like, no, she's not. You can't lose weight if you're fat. Which is absolutely and utterly not the case. Because me, myself, I'm still losing weight. But I've lost over 50 pounds. Like, literally. This is my face before. And now. And it's going to improve the more I lose weight, and the body fat under is going to improve the more I lose weight, because that's how it works. You lose weight as long if you have a slow metabolism. All you need to do is literally just restrict your calories more. Yeah, it might suck. Yeah, it might really suck. But that's how life is. The hard things are the best things that are worth going through. The things that people don't do are the things that are going to have the most results, which is why I go even harder because of that. Because of my slow metabolism, yeah, I could have a lot more calories if I wanted, but I don't. Because it helps speed up the progress. And if you're not that person, if you want to go slower, you can. But if your metabolism is so slow that a normal deficit won't work for you, you got to go hard and you got to be extreme sometimes. And that's just how it is. But some people aren't willing to do that, so they lie about their stuff online. So let's get into it.
This is what I eat in a day as a fat person who's eating 10,000 calories a day. So first I made my girlfriend and I eggs, and then we had mini bagels with cream cheese and jelly. I love making this breakfast. It has a lot of protein and it keeps me full most of the morning. So I love that.
That does not have a lot of protein, and it's very high in calories. Whenever I decide I want a bagel or something, and I'll deduct some calories, and I'll have to eat a lot less that day just because, it's usually a lot. It's usually like 400 to 500 calories for that. Like legit for that. And I don't usually add a lot of stuff. I don't usually add a bunch of like butter and stuff and cream. I don't. You know why I don't? Because it's higher in calories. It's probably 600 calories for her right now. Literally, it's not high, and she put some eggs on it, so it's probably more. Probably she put like 3 eggs, 2, 1. Like I don't remember the exact amount, but it was a decent amount of eggs, so it's probably near 700 calories, 800 now. And eggs don't have too many yeah, it has a lot of the amino acids that's healthy and that's good for you, but you cannot add carbs into that. A high amount of carbs if you're trying to restrict your calories and eat less. Especially as somebody with a higher appetite, you need to actually be prioritizing these things. Like you could eat some eggs, but you also, very much so, need to put in like some meat with that. Like just get some ground beef that's very delicious. If you want a burger, get ground beef and make a burger patty. And get some keto buns. It's very low calorie and very high in protein. You can do these things. Like I wanted some loaded fries, so I got some of the frozen french fries that are lower in calories, about 110 calories for 13. And then I put ground beef onto that and a little bit of cheese. And mozzarella cheese is the best of the cheeses because it's one of the lowest in calories, unless you find a fat-free, really low-calorie cheese. But usually those are kind of stale and they stick when you like heat it up, so I don't really like those that much. So usually you could get like you put half a cup of mozzarella cheese, and it's only 165-70 calories. It's not that many calories compared to the other cheeses, compared to like 230 calories for normal Mexican shredded cheese. So it's just something to think about. You should not go into these things if it's harder for you to do this, and go and get like the highest calorie foods with the lowest amount of protein. Because the more muscle you build, even though a lot of women are scared to build muscle, you're not going to become Ronnie Coleman in a day just lifting. I wish, number one. And number two, it helps you burn more fat because your metabolism gets better, and your metabolic rate where you burn calories gets better when you're resting. Your metabolic rate gets better when you have more muscle mass. So that's one thing to think about too. So just try to eat higher proteins, I would advise, and try not to eat so many carbs. Like I don't care about carbs that much, but if you get low carb, not because of the carbs, but because I'm not a guy that says, oh, carbs will kill you. No, carbs can help. And they can definitely help with pumps and other things that will be exciting for you to do when you go in the gym, which will incentivize you to get in the gym more. But the thing about carbs is you just gotta find a lower calorie carbs. Like if you get a low carb tortilla, it's going to be significantly lower than normal tortilla. Normal tortilla like 300 to 400 calories. Low carb tortilla 50 to 70 calories. Like, there's a huge difference, which is why you need to prioritize these things, get the slightly healthier foods, so you can move on. Sometimes it's good to you can have a bad treat here and there as long as you stick to your calorie range. But what I'm trying to say is, this was not high protein as you thought it was, and I know it's hard when you're not tracking your calories, which is why you need to track your calories, but this is absolutely and utterly a bad way to go about this. Eggs on top of that, not good unless you're bulking.
And I also was craving some iced coffee. So I made my favorite protein coffee. So this was super yummy, but then I ended up spilling the milk, which was not fun. But I cleaned it up, we're all good. I added my caramel.
I'd say the Fairlife and protein coffee is a very good ad if you're trying to get your protein up and trying to still drink coffee on the side. Sometimes I used to do that, put some collagen in the coffee, mix it up. But if you got pre-made protein coffee and some low-fat Fairlife, which I also use low-fat Fairlife in my protein shakes, is a very good ad and adds more protein, a little less calories than a normal whole milk. Even though whole milk is good and it's very good for you, especially like raw milk, it is got a lot of calories, so if you're cutting, it's not the best thing to do. Even though it's hard sometimes, and sometimes you might fail, just keep pushing forward and keep trying with the knowledge that you gain and you obtain. So yeah, I'd say that's a good touch, but be careful of the caramel.
And then after this, I almost immediately went to sleep, missed lunch, and then made a mini bagel just to satisfy my hunger before we made dinner. So dinner tonight, I made pasta with veggies, and then we also made some biscuits to go with it. This was super yummy. We didn't eat all of the biscuits in the pasta, but it was still so good.
I'm sorry, there was absolutely no way that you ate that little and you're still like that big. Like, no offense, but like, I've been that big and I have never ever ate that little calories. Let's be real for a second. You were munching on stuff, you were drinking a lot. Not probably alcohol, I'm just saying soda, stuff like that. No, that's what I was doing. Soda and kombucha was my go-to, and I was eating a ton, eating cheese straight out of the bag. It was kind of gross and disgusting now that I look back at it now. And people thought it was gross at the time. I should have listened to them. Maybe I would have been slimmer sooner, as I'm slimming down still. But that is absolutely not the case. There's no way humanly possible that you eat that much. And then she goes down in the comments. I read this little caption, I'll put it right now. It's all a joke. I was just trying to say that we don't actually, fat people don't actually, we're just fat. No, you're not just fat, because if you were in a caloric deficit with that much food, I mean, yeah, there's some high calorie foods, but when that's all combined together with the little much you ate with some pasta, it's horrible. Maybe 1,500 calories is my estimate. I'm not estimating all but one by one and putting it in a tracker, but I'm just eyeballing it and guessing by the amount of calories. If it was me, I would have tracked my food and done that, because that's what I do. That is way more than you need to be in a caloric deficit. So we obviously know you're lying. You don't gotta lie. And why do you feel the need to lie if you love being fat so much? Just say, I'm fat, I eat this much food. Who cares? Like, if you didn't care what people thought, why wouldn't you show all your fat, big back activities? Why not? Because you really do care. Like me, like other people that want to lose weight, but you don't have the mind ability to do it. You tell yourself, it's fine, I'm not that fat, I'm a little chubby. That's the biggest lie I've heard. That's the biggest lie I've ever told to myself when I was my biggest. So, in reality, you care about what people think, but you're too weak to change it. You just need to set your mind forward, be conditioned, be focused, and try to get conditioned, I mean to say, and try to be disciplined and say, I want this, so I'm not going to do this, and that's why it's hard, but I'm going to do it. Because the more you lie, the worse it is for yourself. You are lying to yourself. You are lying to other people. You are hurting everybody around you and yourself. So I just think it's stupid, and I think that you should just look at yourself in the mirror. And a lot of fat activists, you look at themselves in the mirror and say, I don't want this, because obviously I'm avoiding and I'm lying to people. If it wasn't bad, then you wouldn't lie about it. That's a pretty good rule of thumb. So yeah, that's pretty much it. This lady is just lying straight out of her teeth, and she doesn't know much about nutrition. I won't blame her because of the state she's in, but she could always learn and be better like everybody. And I thought this would be a perfect video to set an example for everybody else. Yeah, that's pretty much it. This is my before and after. Whew. Still working on it, as you can see. Yes, 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 stimmy, stimmy, stimmy.